Yeah, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Sorry. God, this always happens every time. What is going on, guys? I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. I don't know why this thing always messes up every single time. I don't get it. I don't know why this happens, and it's so annoying when it does happen. This chat always does that. So weird. We got a lot to talk about today. There's a lot of stuff going on with the Philadelphia Eagles. Well, the first thing on the list today is Brandon Graham is back as of right now on a one-year deal. So that is official. Brandon Graham is back on the one-year deal. But there is so much more going on. And remember, guys, we're streaming right now. We're going to be streaming tonight on the Philly Shakedown to talk about all this stuff, because a lot has happened. There is, I don't know what's going to happen. This defense is going to be way different this year. I mean, it's all right. So Hassan Reddick, it looks like there's, he could be coming back. I think he is going to be coming back from all the other news that's been going on. So I think they would rather have Hassan Reddick back, free up a lot of cap space, and extend him. Now, there's a lot of news coming out about Josh Sweat now that a potential trade could happen. Okay, so I kind of want to go over that really quick. But first, I want to say hi to everybody in the chat. What's going on, guys? I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. I hope everyone's enjoying their Saturday. While we go over some of these Eagles updates for the day, we'll have obviously a video on some of the news as well. I want to say hi to everybody. We got the Fandalorian. What's going on? Chaos Theory, DB talking now. What's going on? PD Tad, what's going on, bro? Tommy 5, what's going on, man? Kev the Creator, what's going on, man? Chaos Theory, what's going on? Chris Lewis, what's going on, man? So there was some rumors. Well, we'll probably because Chris kind of said it just now. We'll probably just go over the. This is the first bit of news that we heard the other day, a couple days ago. I just made a video on it this morning about the Bryce Huff news. Now, Bryce Huff coming off of a double-digit sack season with the New York Jets. And apparently Lombardi, that does radio talk shows for the Jets and the Giants, because he was a New York Jet, that there's some insider information that the Eagles are going to go after Bryce Huff really early. But why? If Josh Sweat's on the roster, and Hassan Reddick's coming back, apparently, why are they going after another edge rusher at a high price? Now, Bryce Huff is going to get paid probably $15 to $18 million. Bryce Huff only had what? Bryce Huff only had, get the statistics out so I don't mess this up here. Okay, so the Jets decide not to tag Bryce Huff as of right now. Okay, Bryce Huff with the Jets. Okay, 25, going to be turning 26. 10 sacks last year, 17.5 in 54 games. 43 quarterback hits in 54 games. Has elite potential. So this is I think this is the first year where Bryce Huff has had double-digit sacks, the last year of his deal. And, could be a 15 million to 18 million type guy right now. So the guy's got a lot of upside and will be a lot cheaper than $20 million. This guy won't get paid as much as Hassan Reddick is going to get paid. Now, it was mentioned by Lombardi that, that the Eagles are going to go after Bryce Huff really early. This is from Lombardi that covers the Jets, covers the Giants. Now, the new news coming in as of right now. Now, Ian Rappaport put out some news on Josh Sweat, saying the Eagles are having trade calls for defensive end Josh Sweat and edge rusher Hassan Reddick. Also has permission to facilitate a trade. A really interesting situation to watch on the Philly defense as they rework themselves for 2024. Now, Diana Rossini put out a tweet as well, which was really interesting. She says the Eagles have been shopping both Josh Sweat and Hassan Reddick for the last few weeks. Look for Philadelphia to aggressively pursue Bryce Huff in free agency. So They want to get a defensive end that's getting right into their prime, which with Bryce Huff, that probably fits the scheme. We just talked about this the other day. We literally just talked about this, regarding Josh Sweat. Does he fit Vic Fangio's scheme? Now Josh Sweat is going in, and a Josh Sweat trade doesn't piss me off. I just don't want to lose Reddick and Sweat, and then it's a bigger problem. I think they're going to bring us. It sounds like they are going to bring Hassan Reddick back. I think that's what's going to happen, and they're going to pay. They're going to go out and pay another edge rusher. Opposite of Reddick, okay? Doesn't mean they can't go into the draft and get another edge rusher. Doesn't mean any of that. They could definitely, you got Graham back now. Reddick will probably re-sign. And if Josh Sweat gets traded, Bryce Huff could be the number one free agent for the Philadelphia Eagles really early because, the trenches are really important right now. I know they have to get linebacker. I know they have to get safety. So it's going to get crazy. What compensation are you going to get for Josh Sweat as of right now? So I think they're getting a guy that's a better. Bryce Huff is more of a better scheme fit with a high ceiling. Coming off a double-digit sack season. I mean, it's, coming off of a really good season with the New York Jets. So, I mean, a lot of things going on here. I'm trying to look for this other stuff. So, Tom Pelissero put out news as well. It's all over the place. This is all 100% real news. Said the Eagles are having trade calls on defensive end Josh Sweat. Sweat has 35 career sacks, still only 26 years old. Philly's starting over with the new defensive staff, and Sweat could be on the move. Okay. And so many Eagle fans are so mad over this. I don't get, like, at the end of the day, think about it, okay? Howie Roseman is upgrading, is I wouldn't say, upgrade's probably not the right answer, not the right thing to say, because Josh Sweat is still a good player, just not good for the scheme. I think that's, Hassan Reddick, you probably trust him more in this scheme. Josh Sweat trade compensation, now entering 26 years old, okay? What compensation could you possibly get for him? I mean, look, you got rewarded the compensatory picks already, okay? You have 3 5th-round picks. You have 2 seconds. You know what I mean? So you're good with cap space right now. I don't think you're going to get much back out of Reddick. I mean, out of a Josh Sweat trade. I don't know how much money they'll get back. I even looked on over the cap, and I don't even think it's right. Depending on how much the whatever team trades for Josh Sweat. They'll probably pick up mostly his salary, most likely. The Eagles will probably be scot-free of the rest of it. I mean, I don't know what you're asking, for a premier pass rusher like this. I don't know. I mean, you could be asking for, I don't know, maybe a 3rd rounder, maybe you're going to get another 3rd round pick. I don't know. The Eagles are going to be loaded with draft picks. You're going to be loaded. I know you don't have 2 first rounders like you normally did the last, maybe a season or 2, but I think having more of those mid rounders, I think it just gives you extra ammo for trades. It gives you extra ammo for a lot of things that could happen later on, especially in the draft, moving up and stuff like that. There was news on Nolan Smith as well regarding what the Eagles think about him and what's been going on with him. I'm trying to find that because I had it on here with Nolan Smith. Okay, so James Palmer put out some news as well. So the Eagles feel good about the trajectory of Nolan Smith's development. Smith had a maintenance procedure on his shoulder this offseason, preparing him for a bigger workload in year 2. So now we're starting to know that, Fangio is going to use the hell out of Nolan Smith this year. And that's great, because now we figure, Nolan Smith is probably going to play really well in this scheme as an outside linebacker where he probably should be. Okay, we know he's a little undersized for a pure edge guy. So we'll see what happens. But I mean, so far this is all kind of crazy. This is a busy, and this is something that Howie Roseman normally doesn't do. Like, you wouldn't think that he'd be trading Josh Sweat. I mean, because of these coordinators now and because of the scheme now, a lot of things need to change. This defense is going to look totally different going into 24. It's going to be night and day, dude. Night and day. And between your draft compensation, between what you have cap space, you have flexibility now. I mean, that's the number one thing. When Howie has less money, he tries to do whatever he can. I think Howie has done good moves with less money. Last year's free agency was probably one of the worst free agencies we've had, because they really didn't get an impactful player that really helped us this year. But when you have bad coaching mixed in with bad free agency and an okay draft, it's not going to end up good for you. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. But Josh Sweat, more draft compensation. You're not getting rid of Hassan Reddick and Josh Sweat. I mean, it's kind of crazy. They'd rather keep Hassan Reddick at 30 years old, turning 30 in September, than they would keep Josh Sweat at 26 years old. You know what I mean? But because, Hassan Reddick is your best defensive player right now. Okay. You're going to have, between safety, linebacker, whatever's going on, it's going to look night and day. It's going to be totally different. So I'm expecting a lot of changes going forward. And, we'll see what happens. I don't know the compensation they'll get for Josh Sweat, but it might be pretty damn good. I mean, Howie Roseman's not taking these guys for nothing. 26 years old, and Josh Sweat, and still very productive, still a good player, apparently not fitting the scheme as everyone thinks he may be. We kind of question it. We just talked about it the other day with him. So this is going to be Howie Roseman has got a lot of work going on. So with all that being said, Bryce Huff, the Eagles, it could be Bryce Huff, it could be Brian Burns, but Bryce Huff, the name is coming up nonstop. It came up as a rumor on radio from Lombardi, that covers the Jets and the Giants on Radio Talk, that they would probably go get Bryce Huff. So there's a lot. And Bryce Huff had pretty much a pretty good year this past year. I mean, he did a number on us too. So, you're going to get a player that fits the scheme a lot better, and you're going to get you're going to get another double. You're replacing Sweat with a double-digit sack guy that's going to be a lot cheaper than Reddick. You know what I mean? So Reddick will be 20 to 23 million, and Bryce Huff will probably be like 15 to 18 million dollars, most likely. So that is what the number is right now. That's what I've read from reporters and what they've been saying. So I guess we'll find out. Carlos Rosado with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. It says, Shakes, Howie doesn't need to go all in. Just make the right moves, whether draft or free agency, get the right players for the scheme. Here's what I think, Carlos. I think they have to go all in. I honestly think they really do. With the amount of money and draft compensation you have, I'm not saying like put yourself under the cap $100 million and put yourselves in a hole. All I'm saying is I think Howie's going to be aggressive. I don't think they're taking it lightly. With the offense that you have right now, with the more pieces you could put on offense, and this defense is going to be a night and day difference, okay? I think you have to go all in, okay? Yeah, it's getting the right pieces, but this window is wide open for the Super Bowl. I mean, it's open. If you make the right moves this year on top of a good draft, you're set for a while. If they do it, and if these coordinators work out, there's a lot of good things to take out of it. So I think Howie Roseman needs to go all in. That's just me. I think it needs to happen. So we'll see. Dad says when he's going against 6'9", 350 left tackles, he's too small. Now in a couple years, when he adds 20 pounds of muscle, that will change. Well, yeah, and I think changing positions, especially a position where at Georgia you've seen him flourish, and I think with Nolan Smith, I feel like he's just got a big athletic attribute, and I feel, and you saw what he did in preseason. I mean, when they ran that reverse with that 4-2 receiver, I forgot what game it was, and Nolan Smith just like hunted him down. You know, I mean, that's what we need. So Nolan Smith going to have a bigger, so hearing that Nolan Smith is going to have a bigger role with Fangio's scheme, I'm really glad they're taking him into account. They're not putting him to the side, that Fangio actually does like him, is going to have a lot on his plate. So I'm pretty pumped. Chris says 2 more days and the fun begins. I'm 53 years old. I still love the free. Dude, it's great, Chris. It's fantastic. It's really exciting. I'm excited for it. We're going to be streaming on the 11th. Probably we're going to be streaming for a bit. We're probably going to be streaming for a few hours, probably more. We're going to go through the whole day. So, we'll probably stream really early in the morning, and we'll start to do this free agency thing and see what happens. Now, deals can't get done on the 11th. The tampering period begins on the 11th. Okay. The deals will precisely get done, but they're not official until the 13th. So, we'll see what happens. Giants, I think we'll trade some players to help move up in the draft as a package as well. I feel like they have to move up in this draft, especially if they're getting more compensation. They get rid of Josh Sweat. They have another, because I feel like they're going to get some. They're going to get between a 3rd to a 2nd round pick for Josh Sweat, something like that. I don't know if it's going to be a 4th. It could be, but I feel like they will get another 3rd. They get another 3rd round pick and maybe another mid round pick, or maybe a 3rd and another mid rounder. I don't know, something like that. Yeah, I don't think there's no excuse, man. Nolan Smith is Tola says Nolan Smith is fine in the height and weight he is. It's all about technique. Yeah, and I think the biggest problem that he has at being a pure defensive end, I think it's hand placement. I think that's one of his strong, his weaknesses. So what's going on, Hector? Chris says Howie wants to move up in this draft. He wants Nate Wiggins, huh? I'm excited. This dude, the number one thing I'm really waiting for right now is what they're doing at cornerback, and really it involves James Bradbury getting extended and cut to kind of spread out that dead cap, because I feel like I just have a feeling right now that Fangio is not happy with what they're doing at the quarterback spot. Natalia says have to go all in with Smith and Brown together. Slay on his last year, got to try. Yeah, they're going to have to. So they're going to have to. Let's see here. So Jerry Jeudy, news on Jerry Jeudy. So it looks like the Broncos on the process of trading star wide receiver Jerry Jeudy to the Browns as Denver tries to stockpile draft picks and Cleveland adds a weapon. Judy's agent. Okay, Cleveland is sending a 2024 5th and 6th round picks to Denver for Jerry Jeudy. Yeah, obviously they're $85 million in the hole right now with getting rid of their quarterback now and Russell Wilson. So they don't have any draft picks. They need as much draft pick as possible. So not too bad. So oh man, there's a lot going on. Dad said now he's just a rookie. I think he will be a hell of a player once he develops and gets his man by. Carlos, I hear what you're saying. What I'm saying is don't go willy-nilly on just any big name that pops up. No, of course not. I mean, you want to make sure that person can eat, that that player that he can fit the scheme. That's the number one thing going forward. So we'll see. Reed says, pump the brakes on Vic Fangio like Nolan Smith. There has been no practice with him as DC yet. Well, I'm not. Well, look, I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see what Fangio does with this defense, and I think it's going to be better than last year. It can't be any worse than what it was last year. But I don't want to take the lowest amount of effort to you know, not get this defense back on track. But I think we'll be back on track. Chris says, who will be our 3-down lineman in the 3-4 defense card? Davis and Williams, I guess. Yeah, I mean, that's yeah, I mean, Moro Jomo, I guess, because he's still on the roster. I mean, I don't know who else. I don't know if they're going to pick up another DT. They're going to pick up another DT, obviously. So, I mean, we'll see where they go, but, you know, we'll see, though. So, interesting enough, Jerry Jeudy gets traded. I wonder if Surtain gets traded, too. So it's a Jeudy trade for a 5th and a 6th. That's really good value for the Browns. Yeah, I mean, Jeudy. The only problem with Jeudy is he gets in his own head a lot, and I think he gets in his own head. I think he'll, you know, either he's going to go to another team and play really well. He just has to get over his own. He's got a mental thing going on where he gets in his own head, and you know, he gets a little crazy. So. I think being on a team like that that's just had so much dysfunction, I think going to another team will probably help him out. So hopefully it does help him out. That's actually like the Donnie Mitchell from Texas just as much as Worthy. It's true. But for a top 100 pick, yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't. Dude. I feel like, I mean, look, if you can get, I mean, look, at the end of the day, like, if they can get a 3rd round pick for him, I don't know if they can get a 2nd round pick, you know, but we'll see. I mean, if they get an extra 3rd, that's even great. 2 seconds, 2 thirds. I mean, that'd be fantastic. I think we can get a top 100 pick for Sweat or package him for a player. Frank says Denver's having a yard sale with all their players. Yeah, that's true. Chris says, what up, Joey? I looked up Huff on Google, and Google says he's a Philadelphia Eagle already. Well, Wikipedia says that. People are overthinking Kool-Aid McKinstry. How much press coverage does Vic Fangio run? Not much. Not much. At all. So. Let's see. Professor Fields was a Sweat and a 3rd to Denver for Surtain. Yeah, I mean, it's going to cost a lot. I don't even know if a 3rd and a player is going to do it. I don't know if a 3rd and a player is going to do it for Denver. I mean, for Surtain to go to, you know, to get him out of Denver. I don't know if it might cost a little bit more than what we expect. If you get Surtain for a 3rd with a player, I'll be shocked over that, to be honest. Emil, what's going on, man? Carlos says, I've never witnessed a free agency or draft this deep. I mean, because of where the Eagles are with cap space, because they never usually have this much money, $46.5 million. They never, and the draft capital is great. And they can get more draft capital. And because of the market of specific positions the Eagles have holes at right now, running back, safety, you know, two positions of running back and safety are going to have low markets this year. The big rumor is that the market for safety and running back will not be high. Obviously, running back won't, because it never is. And safety this year seems like it's, you know, the market's not going to hit like every player will be pretty damn affordable at safety. And the Eagles have a ton of interest in a lot of players right now. So I think this fits in with us really well. I said it's Sweat in a 2nd, probably not. No, I probably wouldn't do it because there's a lot of corners in this draft. To me, it's why. I mean, then you have to pay Surtain. Like, then you have him on the books now. Then he's going to affect the cap now. Like, why don't you draft a guy within the 1st and 2nd round, whoever, if somebody falls or whatever? There's a lot of corners there. Your future corners is on the board right now. Go draft one, have him 4 to 5 years. So you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay him for 4 to 5 years. You know what I mean? Instead of going out, giving up a second round pick for Surtain, I mean, you got a lot of holes and really need a lot more. You need to draft an offensive lineman. You need to draft, maybe an edge rusher. I don't know. You have to do a lot more in this draft, and getting rid of assets and then paying somebody, which that player is going to be on the books. I don't know if it's worth it unless they're just going all in. They just said, screw it. Let's just get as much on this defense as possible. It's going to help Vic Fangio out. Then, I don't think it's going to cost a lot for Surtain. I don't think it's going to cost. I don't think you're getting into the second round pick with Surtain and a player, and I don't think that Eagles would do it, honestly. So, we'll see. Suo says, how did Browns get Judy for only a fifth of the sixth? Yeah, it's not bad. How did the Browns? Yeah, it's because well, Judy, dude, like really at the end of the day, like Judy hasn't been the most. I wouldn't say the most productive, but like Judy just, I just think the Denver just wants as many draft picks as they possibly can, as of right now. You know what I mean? So, and the only issue with Judy right now is he needs more confidence. I think that's the number one thing, because he is a mental case at times where he gets in his own head. And there's some games where he's just non-productive, unfortunately. And that's just what happens at times. We got a new member in the house. What's going on, Jeremy, dude? Appreciate you supporting the channel. All the extra draft content is up. We have another one. We're uploading the membership stuff every day. We've been doing it every day. So appreciate so much for the support and becoming a member as well, man. So thank you so much, Jeremy. Says Eagle fan from Chicago. That's awesome, man. Awesome, dude. Thank you for joining up. Dude. Benny said the main concern for this team is making sure that the back end is secure and the corners are able to cover. Yeah, that's really it. That's why I always say this, like, when you draft a corner and, real early, like, you want to make sure that he could play zone and, not even just press, but you want to make sure these guys could tackle in open space as well. So, Well, it says people like saying Cooper isn't fast enough to play outside corner and that he has to move to safety, but that's just not true, especially in zone coverage setting. He is. Cooper. Let me tell you, Keeper DeGene is. I mean, I feel like the guy can play multiple positions. I feel like when it comes to tackling, he's fantastic. I think he'd be a perfect fit in Philadelphia for this Fangio scheme. I think he's great. I think he's awesome. Now, he didn't work out the combine, and we'll see the pro day most likely, hopefully sooner or later. So we'll see what happens. Galerno Crow says, how do you think Howie's going to handle his Hurts contract when that extension hits? I think I forgot what the cap hit. The cap hit this year is nothing. Next year, it might get a little, I don't know, it's more expensive next year. I mean, I'm not even really worried about that right now because Howie's good at moving money around. And, if he has to do certain things, he will. You know what I mean? So I don't think we should even worry about that. Yeah, maybe another year we'll see where it is, but I mean until like really the second to last year and the last year are the most expensive cap hits, where by that time Hurts will probably sign another extension by that time. So we'll see what happens, but all I care about is this year. I don't care about next year already. I mean, we're trying to get through this off season already. I'm not even really worried about that right now. Carl says sometimes a change of scenery is good. Oh yeah, I think for Judy, I think it'll be perfect for him. I think he needs it. I think a lot of those Denver Broncos players really need a change of scenery. We were so close to training for Russell Wilson, man. Did we? Yeah, we dodged. Thank God he didn't want to come here. That's the main thing. So. Miguel Monroe, what's going on, man? Appreciate the super chat, man. He says Denver trade Judy for a bag of peanuts. I mean, really, like statistically, how much value does Judy really have? Like, I don't know. I feel like they should have got maybe a little bit more. I mean, that's a fifth and a sixth round picks, I feel like that's a little low, man. We've got at least a fourth round pick or something. I don't know. There's something to kind of ice it up a little bit, but maybe teams just didn't want to overdo it with Judy. Maybe they had a lot of offers that just weren't good enough, and they just said, you know what, let's just take what we can get, and we'll see what happens. Tyler says, I'm hearing rumors that the Eagles are going to try to target Xavier Worthy in the first round. Why does the media love this kind of garbage? I mean, I don't know why the Eagles would target Worthy. I figured they would target a bigger receiver because I don't think they need a speed guy. I mean, if you're just talking about this year, I mean, are you really trying to put Worthy on the inside? Some people think that Worthy's a one-trick pony where he just has the speed and that's pretty much it. You know, I feel like they should go bigger receiver if they do. You know, and trust me, like I would love Xavier Worthy. I would love Ladd McConkey in the slot. I would absolutely just desire it so much. But if it's just for this year, sure. But for the future, like what if AJ, you know, you're drafting a receiver in the first round, like what down the road, like if AJ Brown doesn't sign, like you can't have two small receivers as your main threats. I feel like they got to have a bigger receiver. And at least for this year, I think they should get a bigger receiver on the inside that has some speed, that can get some separation. That would be pretty damn cool, you know? Brian Burns would be another target, you know, if it's not going to be Bryce Huff, then maybe Brian Burns. Brian Burns on the last year of his deal and, has not liked how the Carolina's been using him the last couple years and could be another pit stop for the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, Burns is tagged, but it could be a tag and trade. It doesn't matter. He can get tagged and traded. The reason why they tag him, either they're going to tag him and try to extend him, or they're going to tag him and try to trade him. So it's the same thing what they're doing with L'Jarius Sneed. There's different types of tags. The non-exclusive tag, which will allow teams to try to trade that player. So there are different tags that you can put on players. Tony says Cooper DeJean is just a natural athlete that's played multiple sports. What's going on, George? DMDRU, what's going on? Appreciate Super Chat. Says Lagos Fly, hope we win it all next year. Trust me, I hope so too. First, we got to get this roster in check, and then we have to see how this whole thing molds together when it comes to the offseason program, and get this thing rolling with 2 new coordinators. So there's a lot going on. I'm on Twitter right now. I have it open right now just to make sure. I think, you know, cornerbacks that are available in the league right now. So now Bryce Huff, right? Bryce Huff stats for the last 2 seasons, or at least like what he's ranked in the last 2 seasons. So if they're aggressively pursuing defensive end Bryce Huff that had double-digit sacks last season, okay, in 2022, his pass rush win rate was first. His pass rush productivity was second. 2023, okay, his pass rush win rate was third. Pass rush productivity second. And he's only, like I said, only 25 years old, going to be turning 26. So you're getting a guy going right into his prime, which is fantastic. Perfect for the Philadelphia Eagles. You're not getting an older guy. You're getting a guy perfect age, going into the perfect year of a career there. So appreciate the super DMV. Chris says trade back to 28, pick up another second, 57 draft worthy at 28 with three second round picks, take all defense. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they'll ever, even if they had 3 second round picks, I don't think they would ever pick 3 guys in the second round. I don't think it would ever happen. You know, but that's definitely an idea though. I mean, who knows? They might change it up this year. You know what I mean? I don't think they're trading back. We need to see. We'll get through free agency to see like if they trade players, if they get compensation back, see what they have, and will it make sense for them to even trade back? So, you know, we'll see what happens. Joey Worthy play inside and out. I put his snap lineman on Twitter. Oh, okay. I'd rather go Boyd on a 1-year deal. Yeah, Tyler Boyd's a free agent. I'm not a big fan of I'm not really a huge fan too much of a lot of the free agent receivers this year. I mean, Calvin Ridley's obviously the best one out there, but he's out of the Eagles' price range. So let's see here. Keith Lomberg says Huff plays the same side as Reddick only, so if they're going to have him, they're trading Reddick. Hold Oh, he might not play just one side. So he might not play just one side. I mean, I don't think that's the case, because I don't think they're gonna lose. They're not losing Reddick. They're not losing Reddick and Sweat. So, I don't think so. I mean, there's got to be some type of plan going into this. I mean, you're gonna pay this guy a lot of money to be a rotational guy. I don't think so. I don't think Reddick gets traded. I don't think he's going to get traded. Hurts says AJ will play his entire career in Philly as long as Hurts is there. Yeah, we'll see what happens. It depends on his next contract and what he wants to get paid. It comes down to just money. Elephant in the room said, I just want to see Saquon on this roster. Same here, man. I'm excited to see what they do at running back. This is the best market for running back we've had in a long time. This is a really good free agency for running back this year, no doubt. RC3 said, we got to pick Edgar Cooper at 50, maybe sign Patrick Queen. We're top 5 defense. Yeah, they're not signing Patrick Queen. 100% they're not going to sign Patrick Queen. Because Vic Fangio's going to have a lot of pull with Jerome Baker, Andrew Van Ginkel, guys like that are going to fit here really well. And I think that's where they're going to go. I don't think they're going to go. I don't think they're going to go Patrick Queen. There's going to be a lot of teams wanting his services. I don't think they're going to pay a linebacker, but I don't think they're going to go that crazy over one position and get into a big bidding war with like 7 other teams for a lot of these other guys. So we'll see. We will see. We got Jeremy with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. So I just want to thank you for putting out all this content. It helps me get through my day. You happy BG is back for another year? Well, I appreciate that the content really does help out, and I appreciate that definitely people are watching and definitely supporting, which is an awesome thing. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, no, I mean, look, BG, he wants to play his 15th year. I get it. I hope he's productive. I hope he's not just a wasted spot that does nothing this year. That's what kind of makes me afraid of. You get some leadership. You get a nice little mini leadership role. We know what BG brings to this team, the excitement, the energy. We know what he brings. So I'm fine with it. You know what I mean? You got a vet there, so that's perfectly fine. Need more pieces, though. It's not enough. They need like another 2 pieces, I think. If Sweat's going to be gone, then I think you're going to need 2 more pieces. So we'll see. We'll see. Appreciate the super, by the way. Brandon writes, says Huff and Reddick both play left side, though. So, yeah, so how is that going to work out then? I mean, that's what I don't get. So, I mean, is there another? I mean, they're not going to pay another guy. They're not going to pay another guy. So, I want Huff, Chauncey Gardner Johnson, and Barkley. Philly Sports Pride. Queen wants too much money. Oh, they're all going to get paid over the top. Kenner said I wouldn't mind Devin White on a cheap 2-year deal. Yeah, Devin White's an interesting one, but I want to know why he was beaten out of his job this past year, because he got beaten out pretty easily. He didn't play much as a starter this past year. So he'd probably be on the cheaper side. I would hope so. At least somewhat be on the cheaper side that we can probably afford. If that's what they want to do, but I don't want that to be the main signing. Obviously, I want a lot more than that. You know what I mean? So, we'll see what happens, but should be interesting. Bleeker said Eagles are having trade calls on edge Josh Sweat. Yeah, so we just talked about that before. So we've been talking about that since the beginning of the stream. Interesting enough, we'll see where these calls end up, and we'll see like what compensation they're going to get. And when this Hassan Reddick dilemma is going to be over with, that's what we're hoping, I think Fletch is retiring. I think he's done. More news is coming out that he looks like he is retiring. I think Brandon Graham did mention that he probably will not be back. So I don't think Fletcher Cox is coming back. BG is depth and tough leadership. Brad says, since after the Buffalo game, you have 100% correct about everything, Joey. I mean, it's not. It's just what when you see certain things that happen week by week, and then like it's nothing's really changing, and then like, figuring out like maybe this team is going to get figured out. That's what happened, you know. So, he said Eagles need to sign former Bills center Mitch Morse. He could play right guard, and if Jurgen struggles, he could play center. Morse, 31 years old. No, the Eagles are not signing a guy. The Eagles are not signing a veteran center. It's not happening. Not happening. They're going to sign a plug-in. They're going to sign a plug-in veteran guy, not a high-priced veteran, but a mid-tier plug-in type guy. I don't think they're definitely not 100%. They're definitely not going after a center, especially at 31 years old. That's probably going to get a good amount of money too. So I don't think that's going to happen. We got 331 in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Eagles news every single day. Make sure you like up the stream like crazy. Thank you so much, everybody that's joined today. A lot going on. Free agency in a few days. The tampering period's in a few days. So there's going to be a lot to talk about. We're streaming every single day. A lot of stuff going on. So definitely, check some things out. I mean, we're going to be going crazy. So a lot of news coming out. Make sure you definitely become a member as well. The pinned comment description, become a member. Got some draft highlight reactions. A bunch of draft stuff has been out every single day. Extra content for you guys if you want it. So definitely check it out if you guys have it. So appreciate it. Donnie says that you type Bryce Huff in Google, it says he's a player of the Philadelphia Eagles. That's weird. Eagles talk from Delco. What's going on, man? Says that center from Oregon going to Philly is getting buzz. Yeah, we'll see, dude. I mean, I think they're gonna have a ton of interest in a lot of offensive linemen between the first like 2 rounds. Okay, I feel like an offensive lineman will be drafted within the first 3 picks of this draft. I don't know what they're gonna. I want to see what they do in free agency. If they do, a couple weeks down the road in free agency, if they do sign a plug-in type right guard. Since Tyler Steen is, I think, way too raw right now. I think needs another off season to really get things spiced up. Honestly, from my opinion, with Tyler Steen, I think he should try to move to right tackle as well. He was. I don't think they'll ever put him at left tackle anymore. Maybe they work with him in the off season to maybe play a couple different positions. So we'll see. Detroit says, I trade Reddick in a 5th for Brian Burns. I'd rather restructure someone younger, but I do like Reddick, don't get me wrong, but let's keep this team younger and move on from him. That's what it comes down to with this team. It comes down to, like, you get rid of your best pass rusher or your best player on defense from last year pretty much in Hassan Reddick, and you sacrifice what he does, and you go get a younger type guy that, you're not going to – anybody that you get is going to be, anybody that you get is going to be, it's not going to be an upgrade for Hassan Reddick. You're going to get someone that's younger going into their prime, okay? Because Reddick does turn 30 in September. That's unfortunately, that sucks. And unfortunately, like, if he just plays out his last year of his contract, if he plays out the last year of his contract, it's like he's $20 million against the cap. And I think the Eagles aren't going to keep him at that number. So they have to do something with him. And if you extend him, you're saving $11 million. You're pretty much almost at $60 million in cap space. The Eagles never have cap space like this. Even $47.5 million is pretty damn good. I mean, they're a top 18 team. They're a top 15, top 16 team in cap right now. So, I mean, they never when Howie Roseman has a little bit of money and has draft capital, that's just more flexibility for Howie Roseman to make more moves, okay? We have to be very grateful. I know we're up and down about Howie Roseman year after year. Let me tell you, I have best friends that are fans of other teams that never make moves, that never do much in free agency, that have GMs that have no idea what they're doing half the time. At least with Howie Roseman, there's always something going on. At least he's active during free agency. At least he's active during the trade deadline. He's always active during the trade deadline. Most of the time they do make a move at the trade deadline. You know what I mean? So It says Richie, I like Big More. Said Chris says Eagles are taking calls on Reddick and Sweat. So yeah, I mean, if they're taking this is what kind of scares me. Like that report saying they're taking calls for Reddick and Sweat. So that means that bringing back Reddick is already done. You know, is bringing back Reddick already finished? Like, are they not bringing him back now? Since they're going to if they end up getting Bryce Huff that plays the same side as Reddick, does that mean that Reddick is getting traded? I mean, let me tell you something, dude. They trade Sweat and Reddick. You're going after Latu from UCLA, or you're going after Chop Robinson. I mean, they're gonna have to. I mean, there's no fucking way. There's no way if you trade both of those guys, you're not going to that first round not getting an edge rusher. There's no way. You know what I mean? I won't be mad trading Sweat, but Hassan Reddick it really depends on what's behind that move, because they really have to they got to fill that in pretty easily. Maria says getting rid of the defensive ends that don't fit the 3-4 can't cover. Well, no. I mean, look, no. Well, that's half of that's not true. Okay, because Reddick can do it. They just don't know. Look, when you're not blitzing, you're not running stunts for your defensive line. You're not. You know what I mean? Like these guys weren't coached last year. Okay, these guys were not coached last year. So to say that Reddick can't do it, he's done it before, but. You can't just throw him in coverage and he's out there not knowing what the fuck he's doing. I mean, the back end of this defense didn't have they still had communication issues. I mean, seriously, that's how bad it was. Late in the season, there still has communication issues on the back end. It's not great. But if Bryce Huff plays the same side as Reddick, it's starting to why. You're starting to see that maybe Reddick is getting traded and Sweat. If they lose Reddick and Sweat, holy shit, dude. Edge rusher's going to be edge rusher's going to become the number one move in the draft. I mean, who do you have? I mean, seriously, at edge rusher besides if Sweat and Reddick are gone, you have Brandon Graham. I don't even know who else you even have. Milton Williams can move to the outside if you want him to. I mean, there's not. You're completely. It's just another hole now. So, how much did BG get paid? Only $4 million. That's not bad. That's not bad. It's really cheap. Think of the cap space Sweat and Reddick. Oh yeah, no, I get it, dude. I mean, you're gonna get over $11 million for Hassan Reddick. You're gonna get over 11. I don't know how much. With the extension, it's $11 million. With a trade, it's probably gonna be more. I mean, they're gonna have a. I mean, they can load the fuck. Fangio can load this defense up. No doubt. Okay, there's no doubt about it. Add more players to this defense. I mean, I just had a feeling that this defense was going to change. Like, it was drastically going to change. We know that the players we had on this roster athletically just don't have it for this scheme. And you got to get younger too, you know? Cameron Holmes says, Joey Shakes, I know I've asked you this 1,000 times, and it's okay. I get the same questions every day, so it doesn't matter. But I want to see if you had an answer by now. Who's your favorite corner in this draft? Oh boy. To be honest with you, I like Quinion Mitchell. I like the physicality, I like the ball hawk capability. I like Cooper DeJean a lot because I feel like you can move him anywhere. And I feel like down the road, if Eli Ricks or maybe Keely Ringo or some of these other corners come up, I feel like you have the flexibility with Cooper DeJean, to be that move around type guy. I think he's the highest IQ type corner, ball hawk capability, speed. I mean, he watches a lot of film. He's just got really good instinct. Cooper DeJean just has really good instinct. I do like Terron Arnold. It's tough. It's really tough. Like, I would say Quinion Mitchell. I like Terron Arnold a lot. I think he's really solid. It's really, really, really tough for me. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But it's hard to punker down on one guy. I would say Cooper DeJean. I would say Quinion Mitchell, Terron Arnold. And I like McKinstry as well. So Professor Phillips versus Justin Simmons, McKinney, Huff. Yeah, McKinney, we'll see. Justin Simmons, I think, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, not in a bad way. I think Justin Simmons might be on the way. I feel like it's a match made in heaven for Vic Fangio, especially since he, was the head coach over there. And I know that Justin Simmons is playing at an all pro, he's all pro level. I mean, he's playing at a high level right now. And I didn't want to trade for him. I didn't want to trade for Justin Simmons. I just wanted to sign him as just a free agent. But when he was released, I already kind of knew that, yeah, he's going to be a big target for the Eagles, no doubt. No doubt. That's what happens when you have a highly respected defensive coordinator. A lot of players, there's going to be players that don't like to play with Vic Fangio. There's going to be a lot of players that like his scheme. There are players that like his scheme. I don't know. Apparently it's 1 year, $4 million. What's guaranteed? I don't know. Unless it's $4 million guaranteed, unless it's all guaranteed, I have no idea. I'm not sure what it is. I'm trying to look for more stuff. I don't know what the contract is. I'm trying to see. This is going to be a big year, dude. This is a fucking crazy. This is going to be a crazy off season. I mean, this is going to be nuts. Huff is so young. Oh yeah, 25 turning 26. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Tampering starts on Monday. So we're gonna be streaming probably. We're probably gonna be streaming like early morning on Monday till like whenever the rest of the day. So we're gonna be streaming for a bit. That's the best cornerback this class is Terron Arnold, and it's not close. Stevie says, I honestly don't think Chopper goes as high as people thinking there is a real possibility he is there at 22. I mean, look, if the Eagles don't have to move up, that's great. The Eagles usually move up. They might move up a spot or two. Might move up a couple spots. We'll see how many QBs, tight ends, offensive line are taken, wide receivers. I think the Eagles are in a, depending on how it goes, they could be in a perfect spot. We'll see how it goes, though. Mario Ortega says, damn it, I was really against signing Barkley more because I don't getting my hopes up, but damn, he would be nice. Yeah, dude, I think it's a realistic possibility from what it sounds like. Because I think the world, not only the Eagle fans, I think the world wants to see what Saquon Barkley can do, okay, with a good line in front of him. I think that really will help. Let's see. That's his Chop. 6 sacks in 3 years, 12 tackles last year. Couldn't stay on the field. I'm out on Chop. We can't afford to take risks this draft. Karen, can you imagine a safety duo of DeJean and Simmons? Oh man. Yeah, like I think Reed will make the roster as a third safety. I think they're gonna go all out. We're gonna find out how Vic Fangio feels about Reed Blankenship come free agency in the draft. If Byron Murphy fell at 22, would you take him? You almost have to. If Byron Murphy falls to 22 and Latu and Chop Robinson are off the board, they might have to. They could. We'll see how free agency comes out. Like if they're set at edge rusher, for some reason, they fill in 2 spots. If they trade both Reddick and Sweat, or we'll see what happens. We'll see though. It might change. John said, if Saquon can stay healthy this year, he'll be a problem behind our O-line. I agree. Born Alone Dylan says, I wanted Arnold. The draft keeps deep with cornerbacks. Give me Chop and Cooper. Murphy is Cansey on steroids. Eagles 93 says 2,000 all-purpose yards for Barkley this offense. Ray says Chauncey Gardner will not get along with Fangio. RC says load up the defense, sign Saquon Barkley, Keon Coleman at pick 50. John says who's the tackle from Oklahoma? I could see him taking over Lane Johnson. Guyton, his name is. A lot of teams have interest in him. I see his name all over the place, with a lot of teams having interest with Guyton. Chris says Byron Murphy would fit perfectly in a 3-4 defense. Carter, Murphy, and Davis. Yeah, we saw the trade for Jerry Jeudy already. So somebody left me a comment on Twitter about Josh Sweat and how they feel about it, or if he gets traded. So he says, I really don't want Sweat to leave. I'm sorry, he's like our second best defensive player on the team, only behind Reddick. I know he didn't end the best way, but he's one of the best defensive players in the league when he's on. And the problem is like, if the guy doesn't fit, like if you're going to be an edge rusher to an outside linebacker, I don't think Josh Sweat is going to have any value in coverage. So are the Eagles thinking, hey, are we going to figure like you're going to have 2 guys in coverage and we're already having an issue, well, not an issue with Hassan Reddick, because Reddick's done it in his career before. I think you'd rather keep Reddick over Sweat because he's done it in the past. But you got to use him the right way, though. You know what I mean? Lewis says no reason to get Guyton. He would redshirt. Yeah, I don't want to redshirt anybody. That's the issue with getting offensive linemen early. If we had a massive, and it's not like they're not drafting the top guard with the first round pick. You know what I mean? Unless then free agency they go fucking crazy and like they fill everything of need. You know. Jazz says the Barkley stuff seems hilarious. Maybe they're trying to bump up his market. I don't think it's a joke as everyone thinks it is. I don't know why people think it's a big joke. They're not going to get paid. They're not going to get fully guaranteed contracts. They probably won't even get over $10 million. Maybe $10 million in incentives if they hit those. So that's where I'm coming in with all this. We have some new news regarding Diana Rousseau. Diana, who the hell is this? This is a fake account? Is this a fake account? No, I don't think it is. No, it is a fake account. People. I was just looking for a second. I'm not gonna say anything, but I was like, man, this is weird. Let's see. Chris Scott says Hurts, O-line, Smith, Brown, Goddard, and Ladd. We would score 40 a game. Yeah, Ladd McConkey would be great. He's like one of my favorite. He's like my personal favorite wide receiver from this draft. I think would be an excellent wide receiver 3. But when it comes to the future, yeah, if AJ Brown leaves, you have McConkey and Devontae Smith. I don't really like the duo too much. Because I feel like they need to have a big receiver, I don't want 2 guys almost the same, not the same skill set, but 2 guys almost at the same size. John Smith from the Cowboys left, so Guyton may go to Dallas. Yeah, could be. Big Tracks, I think Barkley to Philly is going to go down. It might. It might. I mean, there's apparently mutual interest from Barkley to the Eagles, so we'll see what happens. I mean, Barkley's going to talk to multiple teams. He'll probably talk to the Chargers. He'll probably talk to the Houston Texans. I know Houston's been needing a running back badly. I think anything can happen at this point. I mean, I think everybody wants to know. Everybody wants to find out what if Barkley comes to the Philadelphia. And Tiki Barber had almost a fucking mental breakdown the other day. Like, if you go to Philadelphia, you're not gonna get respected by New York. I'm like, who fucking, you think he cares? He's given his blood, sweat, and tears to that fucking team that has not put that roster in good position in years. 3 different head coaches since he's been there. You guys don't have an elite receiver. You guys still can't get the offensive line right in New York. I mean, what does he owe them? Tiki Barber, like, shut up, dude. Seriously, shut up. Dad says Reddick and Sweat are good players who will no longer fit. That's how I think of it. That's how I think of it sometimes. I think Reddick fits more than Sweat does, a lot more, because he's played outside linebacker before. Let's see here. Big Chris says, let Vic shop for the groceries and cook. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what they're doing, man, because the front office has a lot of respect. For Vic Fangio, okay? In the 22 season, Vic Fangio left 2 weeks before the Super Bowl because he figured that Jonathan Gannon was going to have the DC job because he was supposed to be the next defensive coordinator. Fangio was supposed to be the coordinator this past year. He should have been. Never happened though, but probably better for us because we didn't have much capital. I don't know how much money we had going. How much money did we have going into free agency last year? Probably it was in the 20s. I don't even know how much money it was. It wasn't much. So RC3 says, hey, Joey, maybe you and 500 could do a mock draft similar, load up on D in the draft. Yeah, we'll do that. We usually do that. I think we did that last year. We did a mock draft together last year. Chaotic White Rerun says, everyone talks what picks we get, but what if Reddick gets traded for another player? Can't count it out. Yeah, no, I don't count anything out when it comes to Howie Roseman. Like, he could be looking for a player pick, player trade. I mean, he could be looking for that as well. Rushini is hooked into the Eagles because of her husband. Good source, but she's not a bad source. She's pretty good, actually. She's come out with some things. So, I mean, the Bryce Huff stuff really, that she talked about aggressively going after Bryce Huff, but she wasn't the original person that said that, though. See here. Pappy says, have they not been running a Fangio system for the last 3 years? Am I missing something? Yeah, but have they had the right coach to run that system the last 3 years? No. Unfortunately, they haven't had the right coach. And finding out in 22, Nick had a lot of control over that defense. And then once Gannon came to Philadelphia last year and was so fucking aggressive with that defense, it really showed me that Nick has been the bigger problem all along than anything else on this coaching staff. And that was an eye-opener. Bill Gibbons says, we have to make a whole mentality change. Sirianni needs to go. Yeah, we'll see what happens, man. Like, depending on how the first 4 to 5 games goes, we're going to find out, we're really hoping that Nick doesn't mesh his so-called system with Kellen Moore's, because that would be the worst thing possible. The worst thing possible. Eagle says, time for Howie to go grocery shopping this offseason. He's the best at it. I like Latu. Yeah, Latu, unfortunately, Latu is probably going to be a tough player to get. I mean, he might be a top 12 pick at this point. He probably will be gone. But you never know. Things definitely change over time. Yeah, says Latu had to retire for 2 years due to injury, hard pass. Well, 2020, yeah, he had the neck injury. He was medically retired, came back and played really well. So, I mean, you're going year to year with this. Like, I can't, you know what I mean? Like, what are we supposed to do? Not have any eyes on him now because he was technically medically retired? Moo, what's going on? Ron says, Joey, what do you think about Jared Verse, Beast edge rusher coming out? I believe he's ranked second behind Latu. Dude is a monster. I haven't looked at him a lot. I have to look at him more. I've been looking at some of the other names, but I have to look at him. I've heard his name fly around a little bit more. Could be another. I know another one that could go in the first round as well. So we'll see. Dominic said we will be aggressive signing defensive guys early. Yeah, that's the main thing that that's the main thing that was said, which is good. I mean, that's what we want. We need to fill some holes on defense, no doubt. You're adding more to the trenches, you're adding more to linebackers, safety, and corner, really everywhere. It's not there's holes everywhere. So let's see. Bryce Huff and Saquon are Eagles for sure. Well, we'll see, Blake. We'll see what happens. Jose Black says, thoughts on Trotter Jr.? I think Trotter Jr. as like a luxury, okay, is fine in the second round if that's how you want to go. But I feel like you need to add a couple pieces. You need to add like one linebacker if you want. Don't make getting Trotter Jr. like if the Eagles don't hit linebacker at free agency at all. Don't make him like the only linebacker that you sign in front. You know what I mean? So we'll see. So there's been news from Jeff McClain as of right now regarding Hassan Reddick and Josh Sweat. So Jeff McClain says not an either or situation from what I understand. If the Eagles can move both Reddick and Sweat, they will. And then be aggressive in how they replace them. Everyone has a price, but the team was also not happy with the lack of production from the starting edges and how they played the defense in the second half of the season. So if they end up getting good compensation for Reddick and Sweat, they're gonna obviously Bryce Huff is number one on the list because that name has been flying around like crazy as of right now. So that's number one. Now, what else are they gonna do? Do they sign another defensive end to big money? I mean, really, at the end of the day, they could sign two guys in free agency. They get rid of Reddick and they get rid of Sweat. They sign Bryce Huff and there'll be another one on the list. Maybe they'll get Brian Burns. I don't know. It's definitely. They might not have to go into this draft in the first round and get an edge rusher if they get rid of both of these guys. There's two different sides to it. If they get rid of both of these guys, they trade both of them, they can sign Bryce Huff, go into the draft and get a top pass rusher, an edge rusher. If they get rid of both of them, they can go after two free agents because they can afford it. They'll be able to afford it because they're going to get a lot of cap back for Hassan Reddick, and it won't affect anything. We'll probably have two guys cheaper than what they would have had with Josh Sweat playing and Reddick playing this year. So with the amount of money, they would have paid Reddick, which probably would have been more expensive, they could probably afford two guys instantly. So I guess that would probably make a little bit more sense going down the line of free agency. So we'll see. Chris Dog with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. It says source the Broncos are process trading Jerry Jeudy to the Browns as Denver tries to stockpile draft picks and Cleveland adds a weapon. Schefter tweeted, yeah. I mean, it's just Jerry Jeudy needs the Broncos need picks because they gave up the fucking future for Russell Wilson, so they need as many picks as possible. And Jerry Jeudy, I think he needs a new background. He just needs a new situation and to feel just like a new player all over again. And I think that's what he needs. He's got a little bit of a mental thing going on with himself, so I think that's what he needs. I think the draft conversation was, they could have probably got a little bit more, but we'll see what happens. Jerry Jeudy hasn't really done too much in recent. So it's a good trade for the Browns, though. Good trade for the Browns. They get another weapon. So it's not too bad. Appreciate Chris Dog for that super chat, by the way. Blake says, fill the holes in free agency and draft the future. Jerry says, what if Barkley signs the Cowboys or someone else? Who do you go after? If Barkley signs, literally at the end of the day, like if Barkley signs somewhere else, then go after, get DeAndre Swift back in this offense, dude. Go get Swift and Henry. Go get Swift and AJ Dillon. I don't care what you do. Get somebody, Get somebody. So, a lot of options, man. I wanted Barkley in Philly like yesterday. Blake says, yeah, apparently the organization was not happy with the edge rushers at all. I mean, how? But seriously, like, don't be mad at the edge rushers. Be mad at the fucking coaches before you're mad at the edge rushers. They obviously replaced them. They replaced both coordinators. So that's done. They gave Nick the ultimatum, said, hey, fire your coaching staff, otherwise we're going to let you go. They gave Nick Sirianni the ultimatum that they gave Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson was like, nope, I'm leaving. I want to keep guys in-house. So that's where we're at. Blake says, Bryce Huff, Brian Burns, Nolan Smith. I wonder if they trade both, like I said before, if they trade both Josh Sweat and Hassan Reddick, they're aggressively going to go after, they're going to try to, replace those positions. I think with the money that they have, the money that they're going to get, especially if Reddick is dealt, plus draft picks coming back, it's a win-win for us at the end of the day. You know what I mean? But if they get rid of Reddick and they do nothing, then it's gonna be an issue. You know what I mean? You get rid of two of your edge guys. Like, you better have a plan. You better hope that you could sign 2 free agents, or sign 1 free agent in Bryce Huff and go in the draft and sign a top edge rusher. But I think from what it sounds like from that new news, it sounds like they're gonna trade both of them and they're gonna sign 2 free agents. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna sign 2 monsters on the edge. That's what they're going to do. That fits more of the scheme and can get pressure and can hit home. Bo says, we need real football minds in the building, not analytical pencil pushers. Hurts had the greatest college coach. Now it's time for a 6-ring bill. Z28 says, Devin White and Devin Bush would be crazy. They both came out the same draft, both first rounders. It'd be interesting. That Trotter doesn't fit the Fangio likes that linebacker. He loves the big linebackers. Ray says, our edge guys are defensive ends, and then the 3-4 edge guys are outside line. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they want to get those more athletic guys that could be in coverage. They might, in trading Reddick, they might be thinking about the future, because they're thinking about he's turning 30 in September. And, like, how long are you going to have him? You know what I mean? Like, that's what they're thinking with Reddick. If it already sounds like Reddick's not even coming back. It sounds like they're just like, we're going to trade him right now. And Reddick has played outside linebacker in his career. It's not like he hasn't done it. Maybe they feel like they feel like there's other guys out there that will fit the scheme a lot better than Reddick will. And, you're not going to replace double-digit sacks, but, Bryce Huff is coming off of a double-digit sack season. So, really at the end of the day, like, the value's there. I know, Reddick's had 4 years of double-digit sacks, but you're replacing him with another double-digit sack guy that's younger. That's 25 years old right now. So, it's not like they're signing like a 28 to 30-year-old defensive end after getting rid of Reddick that has done nothing. They're signing a guy coming up. They're signing a guy going right into his prime, double-digit sacks. And I guess, like, I feel more comfortable with that, to be honest. I guess it's smart. It's hard to let go of Reddick, no doubt. It really is. How much do we save for the Graham contract? I don't know. I have no idea. That news came out maybe 25, 30 minutes ago, so I'm not sure. Well, I honestly don't see why people are mad. Sweat is getting shopped. This pretty much hints that Howies may be prepared to give Reddick that money, get some picks out of Sweat, and move up to pork chop. Yeah, we'll see if they get chopped, but it could be two things. Either they're keeping Reddick and getting rid of Sweat, or they're getting rid of both. And it sounds like they're getting rid of both right now. It sounds like both guys are going to be gone. That's what I'm getting out of this. That's what I'm getting out of this whole thing. As much as I don't want to bear the truth with it, that's kind of where I'm at right now. So we'll see where it goes. That's none of us would be mad if we got Trotter through, that's for sure. I mean, to be honest, dude, with you, like, I don't even, dude, like, as an Eagle fan, like, I don't even fucking care if we get Trotter Jr. I don't even fucking care. Like, everybody just likes the name, and that's like it. The name that I would get if I was to, like, trade for a cornerback, like, I would trade for Asante Samuel Jr. because I know that he would work out really well here. You know what I mean? Like, I can really give a shit less about Trotter Jr. I honestly don't even care. I don't even really think about it. I don't even dream about it. I don't even care about it. Like, I don't get, like, me. I don't. There's no value for me to be excited about it. And if they sign him on top of what on a couple pieces that we have, that's perfectly fine. As the main guy, no. Like, Nakobe Dean needs as much competition in front of him as possible. There's no doubt about it. So people said, don't spend all the money just because we have it. Money burning in all pockets. Yeah, well, they got to spend something. They can't sit there and do nothing. You know, they have to spend some money. They have to. I feel they have to go all in. To be honest, they got to go all in. Rand says, "How many players do you think we'll get in the first week of free agency?" I have no idea. I mean, realistically, they could probably sign maybe 3 guys in 1 week, maybe 2, depending. I think they want to get. Obviously, like, they want to get this edge rusher thing done. Okay, if Bryce Huff gets signed before anything happens, then you know something's going to happen soon. The running back situation, I would get done in, like, as fast as possible. I don't know how long it's going to take for Saquon to sign, DeAndre Swift to sign, however it's going to take. I don't know how long it's going to take, but we'll see. Reese, what's going on, man? So my guy Joey, let's go Birds. I think the Eagles going hard, okay, and corner and free agency. Yeah, corner. I'm not sure. I'm not sure they're going corner in free agency. I don't think so. If they trade for one, it's a different story. You still got to pay them regardless, or less. If you trade for Asante Samuel Jr., he's got 1 more year left at a cheap price. Patrick Surtain is going to get paid. You know, we saw Jalen Johnson get paid, what, like 70? I forgot how much it was. How much was it? Like 70 something guaranteed? I forgot what it was, but it was a lot of money. It was a lot of money. Maria says Trotter's a slight upgrade over Dean, and that isn't hard to do. I think we get Kenny Moore, Van Ginkel, and Simmons in free agency. Yeah, Kenny Moore's one. Kenny Moore's an all-pro too. Who plays nickel corner. He could jump right in and play for the Avonte Maddox coming back. Like, you want to get rid of Reddick, you want to get rid of fucking Sweat, but Avonte Maddox you want to fucking still hold on to. That I don't get. That I don't get why he wasn't a post-June designation. Okay, for $7.1 million in cap space. Now you only freed up $2 million for not putting. I mean, I don't get the whole thing with Avonte Maddox. You'll trade Josh Sweat, you'll trade Hassan Reddick, but Avonte Maddox, you'll fucking just you're gonna welcome a return. Why? For what? Gog says white rerun. Everyone talks about what picks we get. What if Reddick gets traded for another player? Can't count it out. AO says the Eagles Twitter keeps crashing. It makes me feel like something is happening, but then it reloads and nothing is there. Oh yeah, I gotta keep that refresh button. Refresh. Yeah, so Monday we're gonna stream probably early morning. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna chill out and do our thing. Eagles Landry says, Joey, I like Braylon Allen in the third round. Dude's a freak. Oh yeah, I already did a video on Braylon Allen, and probably one of the most exciting, most shifty bruiser guys I've ever seen. No joke. Domingo Shinanokoka Nicola. Sorry, I can't say your name. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm out of it today. Surprise trade from Howie is lingering. Who could it be? Imagine if they traded Sweat, traded Reddick, and then they acquired Brian Burns and Bryce Huff. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Karen said he'd be a good corner, but I think he's better at safety. Like I said, we just don't agree. Or they said, if we're all being honest, we need to be able to score against the Chiefs and stop the run. Yeah, I mean, look, the number one thing that they need to do is this offense needs to be on track, and they need to get the little pieces that you need on offense is you need to get that done. Okay, so Kellen Moore get his hands on this roster, see what he could do. We need to put points on the board. There's no doubt. Like there's no excuse for this offense going into this year. There's no excuse for it at all. Better be some major changes. Derrick Henry would be great, but you need a counterpart for him though. Jess's thoughts. Ever tried to tackle a rhinoceros? I never have, but maybe one day. Eagles fan says, y'all still believe the shit about they made Sirianni fire the coaches? Yeah, yes, I do. I honestly do. 100%. 100%. I think it's the same ultimatum that Doug was given. The same ultimatum that Doug was given. Doug wanted to hire from within. Doug didn't want to go outside the organization and hire new blood to the coaching staff. And I think that ultimatum was there. I do. Dear. I'd piss on a spark plug if that happened. Brad says, let's get Luke McCaffrey so the Eagles and Niners rivalry gets more interesting. Oh, man. It's all right. I timed him out for a minute. From all these mock drafts I've been listed, I've been seeing, it looks like an offensive draft is I'm kind of questioning how good the defensive players are. I got it. If anybody spams like that, just time them out. Just time them out. That's all. You're gonna ask me, just do it. You're gonna ask me, just do it. I don't block people unless it's like political, racial stuff like that. Like that's definitely not welcome. So, I used to give people wrenches for people used to block people that had wrenches. I reset that shit again. So, Blake says, what positions would you address in free agency? What positions would you address in the draft? So for me, I would address safety. Free agency, I would address safety, running back, guard, safety, running back, linebacker, guard, defensive end. I think they're gonna pretty much hit on a lot of. They're gonna hit on a lot of. Well, there you go, Linda. I'll give you. Well, there you go, Linda. You're ready to go. John's a mod. John says, Joe, you need better mods. My mods are horrible. Well, not that my mods are horrible. I just don't give out mods too much because I've had to reset my mods like 4 times because people are like, Joe, why did you block me? I'm like, I didn't block you. Chris says, Joey, what is your thoughts about bringing in Mitch Morse, the Bills center, or just stay at Jurgensen center? No, this Mitch Morse stuff needs to stop. He's 31 years old. Okay? He's 31. Like, the Mitch Moore stuff needs to stop. Okay? Not coming to Philadelphia. He's already visited like 2 teams already. Okay? So he doesn't have any visits with the Eagles. Jurgens will be a center. He'll be there. So give us some time. John said, if we're going to get a receiver, I'd get Worthy or a Mitchell, both from Texas. I 100% agree. I would like a Donnie Mitchell just because he's the bigger guy, the bigger receiver, and I think we'd like a big. I mean, especially with his speed, dude. Like, I feel like you need a bigger receiver on the inside, you know. And I think he'd be for AJ, you know, AJ leaving the team in a couple years. I feel like Mitchell could go right in as the other number 1 receiver for the Eagles. Brady says, we are set at guard Steen and Opeta. Opeda's a free agent, and Steen is too raw right now. So I don't think they're set at guard right now. Here we go. I said, Joe, if you had to choose only one, who would you choose? Jeremy Chin or Patrick Queen? I would choose Patrick Queen in a heartbeat because linebacker's because I know safety's going to be signed. I'm not worried about safety. Like, I know safety's going to, the Eagles have high interest in the safety market this year. If we were to get Patrick Queen, I would get him in a heartbeat, but it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? White says, do you think Blankenship starts alongside Sidney Brown next season? No. Sidney Brown's going to be out. Sidney Brown is going to be out until probably October-ish because he's got the torn ACL. He's not going to be in the offseason program. So, and it sucks because we put him in a meaningless fucking game and he has an ACL. Pissed me off tremendously. Blankenship could, depending if they double dip at safety, which they could, okay. And and Blankenship will make the roster. Blankenship could be the 3rd safety. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, Xavier McKinney would be great, and he's young. I think it's going to be Justin Simmons. That's just me. I'm feeling Justin Simmons. I'm feeling Jerome Baker. I'm feeling Andrew Van Ginkel. Those are like my top 3 players that are going to be signed free agency. Like, I think it's going to be happening like immediately. I think Justin Simmons, Jerome Baker at linebacker, and fucking Andrew Van Ginkel at linebacker. I think they could sign both of those guys. We'll see. Or one of the 2 from Miami. I don't know. But it's going to happen. Just waiting. Spa Shitty Chop, what's going on, man? What's up, bro? Joe, you gonna watch the UFL? Yeah, I'm really pissed off there's no Philadelphia team, but I'll watch it. I'm definitely gonna check it out at least once, see how I like it. We'll see. Dominico says, imagine trading Reddick for Parsons. Wonder that would take. Dallas gets what they want, and Parsons can play for his favorite team. Yeah, that would never happen. That would never, ever, ever happen. Mary says, Steen is not that raw, and Opeta would start for most teams. Well, how is Steen not that raw? Like, Steen only started 2 games, and you're going to already make him a starter already? He might not be ready yet. Hasn't had much time. And Opeta's a free agent, like I said. He's not on the roster right now. So, if Opeta's not here, then there's a hole. So, we're talking about a person that's not even on the team right now. Not here. Cameron said, I would still take a guard in the second round. Cooper be who's plug and play. Guys said Van Ginkel is our dude, no question. He's an Eagle. You guys remember Josh Sweat was supposed to be a first round pick, and he had a fucking knee injury. If you guys remember that at Florida State, he had a. Josh Sweat was supposed to be. Josh Sweat was. What was Josh Sweat? A third rounder? Fourth? I forgot. He was supposed to be a late first round pick. Guys says Joey, Xavier McKinney, Justin Simmons, and Saquon Barkley. Those 3 coming here. So you think they doubled down at McKinney and Justin Simmons? Woo! Sounds good to me. Dad says, "Oh, I want 2 vet safeties. So much so that I think Howie fails if he doesn't bring in 2. I think he should bring in 2. They need 2 more bodies at safety. They need some competition for Reed, but the one guy they're going to sign is definitely going to be Justin Simmons. Chauncey, I don't know what's going to happen with that. That's definitely going to be on the lookout for that thing. What's going on there? Devontae Sweat's good too. It's another guy that's really good. Another DT that's available. Really athletic, man, for as big as he is. Pause. White Batman said, I hope we draft linebacker. I'm tired of having a revolving door for old free agent linebackers. I think we'll be fine. I'd give it time. They're going to sign a couple free agents. I have a feeling. Prolific, what's going on, man? Mino says, I agree. Justin Simmons is a lock. I think it's an automatic lock because of just the familiarity they have with each other. Justin Simmons loves Fangio's scheme, loves playing under him. So, Bear showing interest in Saquon according to Twitter. Bidding war? What bidding war? No teams are paying Barkley what he wants. It's not going to happen. I'm telling you right now, it ain't going to happen. Yeah, apparently the Bears are interested. I've heard the Chargers, not the Chargers have kind of lingered off. I've heard that the beginning, the Chargers had a lot of interest. Houston Texans is a big name out there too. Yeah, it says no such thing as a lock in the market. Money talks. That is true. Blake says Justin Simmons, Bryce Huff, and Saquon are all Eagles. Johnson, I don't want to see us get one offensive player until we shore up the defense. Yeah, I mean, but it might not be hard. It doesn't matter what you get first, but they might be working on multiple things. So offensively, it should be pretty easy to get, what you need. You only need a couple things offensively. The defense is where we need some fucking work. Where it says Sweat would be ahead of Davis and at nose tackle, same type. Yeah. Like says, who would want to go to Chicago? Yeah, I mean, look, it looks like they're gonna get the number 1 quarterback. So they're gonna get that quarterback I can't stand. That's really, I don't know. I don't like that. I forgot Caleb Williams. Yeah, I don't know, for some reason, between all these dumb rumors about him and if whatever team I get drafted to, I want 2% I want 2% ownership of the fucking franchise. Who does that fucking guy think he is? I'm just reading he's gonna have he's gonna have a ton of talent and he's gonna ruin himself. He's gonna Johnny Manziel his fucking shit out the league with his attitude. That's what's gonna happen. He's gonna be young and stupid. That's what's gonna happen. Austin Eckler is definitely up there because Kellen Moore used them. If they sign Austin Eckler, I'll probably put a fucking hole in my wall. Be honest. There are 6 or 7 safeties on the market better than CJ. I agree. I agree. There's better than CJ, no doubt. Oh, he says Justin Simmons is a strong locker room leader, and like the idea of him teaching the young core. I think it's a lock, man. I think Justin Simmons is a fucking lock. John says, do we want another D tackle? Let's see. AO says Justin Fields is our backup QB. A-Stack says, hey, Joey, you won't mind if we draft a slot receiver? Yeah, when in the draft, though? Ray says, Davis can't play DT 3 gap at all. Sweat is a little better, but no penetration. That's I would love to have Justin Fields, but that's not happening. Lynn says, John Jones, we are going to miss Fletcher's presence if he's not here. We need someone to replace that spot if he leaves. Karen, so if we sign Austin Eckler, I'm going to laugh. No cat. Yeah, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be pissed off, man. I'm going to be pissed. Oh. Was Kyle Duggar tagged though? Was he an actual, like, is he a trade candidate or is he actually a free agent? Josh Vaughn said, you think we stick with McKee as backup QB or we get someone in free agency? I don't know who. I honestly I have no idea what free agent quarterbacks are available. McKee could. I mean, I guess. I mean, depending on that they could, you know, I think in the past, like, they've tried getting like the similar skill set, the RPO similar mobile skill set quarterback that they've wanted. And I think that was an ultimate fail last year. They tried doing it with Gardner Minshew as well a few years before as well with him in 22, putting him in a Jalen Hurts type offense, which just doesn't work. Yeah. John says Fletcher is coming back. I don't think he's coming back, man. I think he's retiring. Yeah, even like the reports coming out that the Eagles were not happy with the edge rushers, right? And it's like Emmanuel Acho comes out and says the Eagles' defensive ends lacked production because the defensive coordinator's game plans were imbecilic. Yeah, I mean, Hassan Reddick and Myles Garrett, defensive player of the year, only players in football with 10 plus sacks in each of the last 4 seasons. Letting him go would be utterly foolish. So Emmanuel Acho thinks getting rid of Reddick would be dumb. So, I mean, look, I see both sides to it, but then I think more down the road. And with Hassan Reddick and what he wants and what he's going to make money-wise, you can get 2 fucking guys out of that probably, or close to 2 guys. I mean, you're replacing Hassan Reddick with Bryce Huff is not bad. It's really, to me, it's really not that bad. Is it 4 consecutive, double-digit sack seasons? No, but you're getting a guy coming off a double-digit sack season from last year with the Jets. Jets have a good defense, okay? That's the one thing the Jets have that's not cursed. It's their defense. White Band says, I just read something that Howie wants Quinion Mitchell, the corner from Fleet. He might. You know, we'll see what happens. But we got 304 in the chat on the sixth day of the sixth stream to free agency, the sixth stream to free agency. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you are new. We cover the Eagles every single day. We'll be streaming every day this month. We'll be streaming on Monday when the tampering period starts early, so we're gonna have a long all day stream on Monday to talk about things. Maybe we'll get some people on talk about some stuff too, so definitely check that out. Make sure you like up the video as much as possible. Thank you so much, everybody. We still got 126 likes. Let's try to get to 200 likes if we can, guys. A lot of people been in the chat today. Definitely hit that like button, no doubt. So how long we've been on today? I don't know how long we've been on. I don't even know. Usually tells me, but I don't see anything. Oh, there it is. Hour and 41. Okay. I didn't know what time it was either. I was kind of looking at the time too. See here. Jess says the New Hampshire back would be interesting in the 5th. Is that Loud or Loud? I forgot he's like a dual threat back, right? I forgot his name. Yeah, Monday's gonna be fucking crazy, dude. It's gonna be crazy. Jim says, hey Joey, what's going on, Jim? Aaron says Huff doesn't stop the run. Well, that doesn't matter, dude. It doesn't that doesn't matter, dude. They want guys to go after the quarterback. The edge guys are going after quarterbacks, man. Like, it doesn't. You can have a fucking defensive end that's not great against the run. It doesn't matter, you know. The same thing with DTs. You get defensive tackles that are run stuffers more than that are pass rushers. That doesn't matter. You're getting an edge guy to go after the fucking quarterback. That's what you're doing. My bad. So we have 2 second-round picks. That's nice. Oh yeah, it's great. John says, Joey, how did the visit with Worthy go with the Eagles? I don't know. I mean, it was a combine. It was a combine meeting, so it couldn't have went for that long. I mean, those meetings are just very like in and out. Like, they're very like, 10 minutes, boom, you're done. You know, once you get to the unofficial, like, players come to the NovaCare complex, like, that's when things get more serious. So it shows it's good, like, you know, it's a good thing, but until it gets more serious, it's the unofficial visits. But it says Braylon Allen is gettable. He is ranked 128th on the draft chart, 4th round. Love him. Mitchell from Toledo. Yeah, Quinion Mitchell might be pretty high. Oh yeah, clock's gotta get turned. I forgot. Totally forgot about that. That's it. Braylon is 6'1", 235 back, ran 4.4. He's gonna be a top 100 for sure. Those fans says Google Bryce Huff and they already have him as an Eagle. I'm not even bullshitting. Yeah, I've seen people put that on Twitter. A consistent double-digit rusher or coverage guy. Sweat is neither really. Well, no, I mean, a lot of players don't get just because you don't get double-digit sacks every year. Like, if you get good pressures and you're helping out other players on your defensive line, you're forcing a quarterback to go back, stay in the pocket, or you don't allow him to go outside. It allows another player to be successful. So I don't put too much into double-digit sacks, but when you do that shit 4 fucking times, it's hard to let go of a player like that, no doubt. It's tough. So it says the Eagles shopping Josh Sweat has little to do with what's going on with Reddick. No, probably not. It probably has nothing to do with Hassan Reddick. I think they're just looking at Josh Sweat and saying, look, I don't think he's going to fit our system as an outside linebacker. And his coverage skills aren't going to be what they are, because that's out of his element. You know, I don't think it has anything to do with it. I think the Bryce Huff shit coming out has a lot to do with Hassan Reddick now, since they play on the same side. So that makes it more eye-opening. You know what I mean? So it looks like Deontay Johnson from the Steelers. It looks like the Steelers are taking trade calls for him. He'd be a nice number 3 for the Eagles. See here. Who else in the draft had a visit with the Eagles? Wasn't Trotter Jr. Have the unofficial visits even started today? I don't even think they've started yet. I think everything's planned out. I don't think anything's actually happened yet, unless I'm wrong. I don't think anything's happened yet officially. Bar says, Joey, Bryce Huff is officially Philadelphia. Do you like the move? It's not official yet. It can't be official yet. Like, it's true that if you search up Bryce Huff, it says plays for Philly. It does, but it doesn't. That happens all the time, dude. Everything starts Monday. What is everybody talking about? Everything starts Monday. Monday is legal tampering period. Nobody can be signed right now. Jim says, who would be our first free agent signing, Joey? I'm thinking it's going to be Justin Simmons. I'm thinking it's going to be probably Bryce Huff. If they're aggressive, if it says aggressively going after him, they could sign him the first day. So we'll see. See what happens. But yeah, but other than that, guys, I think we've covered almost everything today. We're going to be streaming. I'm not going to go crazy right now because I'm not going to go for another hour because we're going to be streaming again. Tonight, we'll have another stream. The Philly Shakedown is tonight on both channels. Definitely check it out. Me and Philly will have a lot to talk about. It could be like a 2-hour stream tonight. That's why I didn't want to go too long today. So we'll see how it goes, man. It's going to be the next couple of days. It's going to be freaking insane. Gonna be crazy insane. So we'll see what happens Monday, but a lot to go over tonight. We'll have a video obviously coming up for tomorrow on all this stuff, every bit of information. And I hope you guys have enjoyed the streams. We'll have another stream tomorrow, but we'll have the Philly Shakedown tonight. And we'll be streaming Monday for the legal tampering period. We'll be streaming all day. We'll probably be streaming at like 11 a.m. to or 10 a.m., whatever. We're going to stream early on Monday. So for like 4 or 5 hours. We'll stream for a bit on Monday. So all right, you guys enjoy. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. Make sure you like the stream as much as possible. Thank you so much for everybody for the support. Thank you for the super chats, all the memberships. If you guys haven't checked out the memberships at all, click the link in the description, the pinned comment, and in the live chat as well for the extra draft content and supporting the channel. I do appreciate it so much. All the extra content is right there for the lowest tier. Doesn't matter what tier you get. So all right, be on tonight with Philly, and I'll see you guys on the next one. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, the rest of your day. Shake Squad up, follow slide. Peace out, guys. Peace.